What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm headed down the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Yeah, I'm getting out of town before the traffic gets cray-cray. Headed back to the Red Brick House where we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner there. I got to cook for, I think, about 12 or 13 people, so this is going to be fun. I got two turkeys. I got a 16-pound one that's going to be cooked traditionally, and then I got a 10-pound one that I'm going to smoke. So you'll be able to pick and choose. We got apple spice stuffing, and we have, of course, my sausage stuffing. So we going to get it on Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. So as I'm driving down the road, I touched on this a little bit this morning about Micah Parsons seemingly growing exponentially. You know, it's easy to be a kid, you know, because you got your parents there taking care of you. You ain't got to worry about cooking dinner. Mom's taking care of your laundry and things like that. You don't grow up until you're forced to grow up. You know, your parents aren't there anymore. You're living on your own. You know, that's where you got to, you know, wash your own clothes. You got to figure out, you know, eating. And you can't just eat out all the time because you don't have much money because you're broke. You're forced to grow up and learn to take care of yourself. And I think this season has been that season where it hasn't been fun and games for the Cowboys. Micah Parsons, you know, beginning of the season and things, you know, living his best life with his podcast and stuff, you know, joking, your big play slay, you know, if the Cowboys get beat and then he gets injured for the first time and can't play, you know, multiple weeks, and he sees his team struggling, you know, that kind of changes you. And so when Micah Parsons, and currently Micah Parsons is sitting at 5 sacks on the season, surprisingly has more pressures than TJ Watt right now, who is deemed an MVP candidate. Now for the small peanut brain San Francisco 49er fans out there that literally sent me an email and said, you know, you are freaking insane that you're talking that Micah Parsons should be the MVP. And it's like, people, see, this is how you show how stupid some of you are. I did not say that Micah Parsons deserves to be the league MVP on this team that is not doing shit with only 5 sacks. My point being is, when you look at the matrix right now, it's kind of amazing that TJ Watt seems to be the leader in MVP, and Micah Parsons, who missed 5 games, has as many pressures. Don't infer that I'm saying that he deserves to be the league MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm not saying that. Just pointing out, it's kind of amazing that stat's happening. So Micah Parsons, after the win, tried to put everybody on blast at saying the Cowboys should be tanking and losing games. He's like, I ain't tanking. And there's a great reason for Micah Parsons not to tank. See, here's the thing. Micah Parsons right now, in his 4th season in the NFL, has 45.5 sacks. If he gets 5 more sacks, then you're talking about a player that will have double-digit sacks the first 4 years of their career. There's not a lot of people that you can put on that list. Here's how crazy it is. I want you to think about this for a second. And by no means, don't take this that I'm saying he's Randy White. But if Micah Parsons finishes off the season with 7 sacks, he moves past Randy White on the all-time list of Cowboys sack leaders. I believe that'll take him to number 8 if you count Charles Haley's numbers as a Dallas Cowboy, because he had 100 and a half, I believe it is, or 101 and a half. If you look at the stat list, there's not that many there. But you're talking about having 50 sacks in the first 4 years of his career. That's huge. And you can see how big a deal that would be to be able to join that 50 sack club in 4 years. On top of that, that kind of quelches this whole thing that we don't need Micah Parsons, and helps him make the argument of getting that max contract, so to speak, for the Cowboys. So he looks at it and says, I got a lot to play for just for me personally, but I also have a lot to play for because the team, as bad as the season has been, you have some games that potentially you could win. This is the softer part of the season. You've got the only teams that you got on the schedule with the winning record currently are the Eagles, who could conceivably already be locked in as, the number one seed, definitely winning the division, and may have nothing to play for, and the Commanders again. So you're looking at that and saying, you could end up second in the division. Maybe you sneak into the playoffs like Green Bay did last year. Green Bay started out 3-6 and went 6-2 down the stretch, making the playoffs, beating us on the road. So you could look at it and say, and by all means, I do not think that the Cowboys are going to win enough games to make the playoffs. I don't. But then again, I didn't think that we had a chance against Washington this week. I swear to you, I thought we were going to get mollywopped by Dan Quinn, who literally ended up taking all ex-Cowboy players and having them as his team captains to basically kind of let them know, these are our guys now. We don't miss you. And proceeded to literally fall out on their face. And then you look at this game with Danny Cutlets, and as bad as the offensive line is, you look at this and say, okay, there's a chance that he can get a couple sacks in here real easy. And I'm hoping, because the more I think about this conversation I had yesterday on Game Time's channel with Bad Dog literally poo-pooed Micah Parsons and what he did. Because here's what I want you to know. It's funny how when the Dallas Cowboys do something, that it's never deemed any longer any good. Remember when Diggs got all those interceptions? Yeah, he's got all those interceptions, but, he gives up a lot of yards. Bro, you get double-digit interceptions. I don't care how many yards you give up. That's big. They did that with Deron Bland last year. Deron Bland getting all the pick sixes. Oh, yeah. Well, he's getting a lot of pick sixes, but he's not a great cover guy. Oh, okay. So now pick sixes don't mean anything. Okay. And so Bad Dog, following up on this shit here, is like Micah Parsons and Lawrence Taylor. Well, here's the thing I can still say. Lawrence Taylor was one of the best players to ever play in the NFL. But his first couple of years in the league, he didn't become the sack machine that he did later in his career. Through his first 4 seasons, his whole first 4 seasons, he only had 41 sacks. Now, Micah Parsons is at 45 and a half right now, still with 6 games to go. And if he follows through on his average, he could be at 50. Now, I'm not going to say that Micah Parsons' career equals Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor got himself a couple rings. I'm not saying that. But if you start looking at this situation and saying he's doing some Lawrence Taylor-esque things, and I hope that this game, that Micah Parsons brings the heat and sacks Danny Cutlets 3-4 times. So I can go back at Bad Dog and say, oh, you like that? He ain't Lawrence Taylor at all, is he? That he literally makes them suffer. Because now I think you're seeing the difference in Micah Parsons. Now, I don't I don't remember seeing him do his podcast yesterday. I don't know if that's happening today or what, but or if it's just kind of kept quiet, or if it's not happening because it's a short week, or what. I don't know. But I will say, from early on in the season, where he was, kind of throwing people under the bus, Mike McCarthy and things like that, and Dak Prescott and stuff, his tone seemed to be kind of shrinking in the last couple of podcasts. And I think him not being on the field and being that leader, and him now talking about trying to be a leader, I'm tired of people talking about what they're going to do. What I want you to do is show me. And in the last game, he showed you that we're down, but we damn sure aren't out. And I hope that he has that monster game for Thanksgiving. That he makes Danny Cutlets his turkey bitch. Alrighty, good people. It's actually a beautiful day. It's 64 degrees here. 64 degrees. I know, Lola, you said it's been cold out there in Cali, but it's 64 degrees today and sunny. And my mom, who's not baking as much as she used to, she did say, I got to make a lemon meringue pie for my baby. So I got me a couple lemon meringue pies and a pumpkin pie, and I got a pan of rolls that's rising right now that I got to cook when I get down there. So I got to hurry up and get my behind down there to the red brick house. As always, I appreciate you guys. Keep the faith, and hope you're having a great day. Peace.